Very good evening, one and all present here. I welcome everybody for this amazing event. As you all know, that we are starting a very own workshop, organized by DSCLPU. We DSCLPU is a student organization community, global community that works with Google technologies to empower the spirit of learning for development. And we are also looking forward to host an amazing hackathon named Global Solution Challenge 2021. As you all know that previously we have came across with a lot of speakers, many great personalities, developer student club experts, and the Global Hackathon Challenge winner, Mr. Agarwal, Praveen Agarwal. And today we are having an amazing person. I hope soon we can meet it. So let us know something about DSC Solution Challenge. Shahrukh, can you please tell me something about DSC Solution Challenge? Yeah, please.
Sure, boss. DSC Solution Challenge is a global hackathon organized by developer student clubs every year. And this year they have 17 themes upon which we need to make a project and submit it by 31st of March. And there are many exciting swags and prizes for the winners, and also a big official recognition. And this year, we at DSCLPU are organizing a series of workshops, webinars, and an internal hackathon as well, so as to guide you all for the same hackathon. So today we have a session of Flutter. Like last 2 days we saw actions on Google, and yesterday we had for Android. So today we have Mr. Dhrumil Shah for Flutter.
So yeah, that's an amazing. So I hope you are all ready to get started with the DSC Solution Challenge. I think we are ready to go. 21 days left for the for the participation. Last date is 31st of March. I hope you all are pairing up with amazing team. So today we are gonna fly with Flutter. So we have an amazing person. So any short introduction will be very short. So anyway, I'll try to sum it up who is with us today. We have Mr. Dhrumil Shah, Senior Mobile Application Developer at high levels, GTE, Google Developer Expert, and Flutter and Dart, co-organizer, GTG Jalandhar Ahmedabad, and a speaker and a motivator, and tons of experience he has brought together, years of experience. He is working with development, in the development of Android application, in a Flutter application, and thousands of people are being inspired by his talk and his experience and guidance. So today we all are blessed to have you, sir. So please, sir, can we start with, is you audible, sir? Please turn it on. So yeah, hi, sir. How are you, sir?
Yeah, hi, boss. Hi, Sharanya. Yeah. I hope I pronounce your name correctly, both of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much, first of all, for inviting me, and to give the opportunity to talk to the people at the DSCLPU. So I'm really excited to, share my learnings and all my exploration regarding the Flutter with all of you.
Exactly. So how was being your lockdown for you, sir? Like so far?
So for me, the lockdown was not exactly the lockdown, because I was working as a remote employee before this pandemic had started. So for me, it was the same. But the good news is I became a father of a beautiful daughter, 4 months back. So that happened in this pandemic, and I'm right now enjoying the developer role, the organizer role, the GD role, and also the father role. So yeah, it's like the mix of feeling. Thank you so much for wishing me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, sir, please, can you please light us on what are the things that today we're gonna know? Everybody's excited to fly with Flutter. So, can you please take us forward with the roadmap that what are the things we could know, and why Flutter? We can take Flutter as an important part of a development course, so that we can take that technology and participate in this hackathon and build amazing product. Because as we have seen, Praveen came last year's winners. He also used Flutter technology to build an amazing application, and he won the hackathon. So we are excited to know, sir. Please, can you please take forward?
Sure. So let me just kickstart this session, and let me just allow to share my screen, so that I can answer all of your questions and all of doubts.
Sure. Please.
Okay. Yeah. So before I share my screen, I just want to let everyone know that Flutter and the objective of today's talk is how you can actually utilize this developer student club global challenge. To identify a problem and how you participate in the hackathon and how Flutter is going to help you out. So we will cover keeping this thing in mind, that how exactly Flutter is going to help you to solve your problem very fast, very affordable manner, and with a very developer friendly manner. And how, if you are not aware about Flutter, then I'll give you a kickstart of it, and from where you can learn the things that also we will cover in today's session. So let's get started. I hope all of you have fastened your seatbelt and just get ready to fly.
Already I'm getting several other messages, so yeah, please.
Awesome. So those who are not aware about what exactly this solution challenge is, so this is the official website of Google Solution Challenge, which is the Google Developer Students Club Solution Challenge, where they have put it like this kind of 17 you can say categories. You can select any and you can find a problem, and then you can build a solution based on these categories. And these are some criteria, the evaluation criteria, that is not like scope of this today's talk. So this is just idea that what exactly and why we are going to use the Flutter. So this is the one thing. So let's get started. Live with Flutter.
Exactly.
Okay. So in 2011, I started my career as a mobile developer with Android, and trust me, that was one of the, I can say, the best career option which I choose back in 2011. But when I choose this Android development or mobile development with Android, everyone are like, why you are using it? Why you choosing this? And then I was telling them some another reason which I will cover in the next slide. How many of people know what this logo means? Does anyone know? Bose, do you know which logo is this?
A donut? No. Even I'm getting confused. No idea, sir.
Okay. Okay, so this is the Eclair.
Jelly bean. No, it's not jelly bean.
No, this is the Eclair.
Eclair. Yeah. Somebody in the chat box. Eclair. Exactly.
Yeah, so this is the first Android version, which I started my Android app development learning, and then right now, if you want to build an Android application, you have the Eclipse, right? But back when I started, it was Eclipse, and trust me, when that problem happens, it was like terrible, and then people were asking me that why you choose this, this Android development, and I had one answer: अपन को जिंदगी में कुछ daring करना था, and that's why I choose it, right? So that's the reason, and the reason why that was so terrible in the early days, because the whole ecosystem of the development with the Android was not that much mature. So whenever something goes wrong with the Android or your development, you don't just need to restart your IDE. So that was that painful from where I had started my journey. And then Android Studio came. So when Android Studio came, all Android developers are like, very happy. Now we have dedicated IDE to develop or build the mobile application for an Android. So we were like very happy. We were started loving it. But as soon as, we started using it, we found that there is another problem with the Android Studio, which is the Gradle build system. Those who might have aware of. So once you click on the play button to build your application, it will take, like a very good amount of time. And if you have a system which is not that powerful, it will take ages. So this is, just denotes that if you start building a one Gradle build, and it will take ages to just get it built completely. So even though it was Android Studio there, I was still feeling that, hey, I guess I missed something, or I have chosen, a wrong path in my career. And then the more problems came as the Android got matured. So Android, every year Android started releasing the new versions like V4, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then as a developer, we have to support all the older versions. So these Android support libraries that we have to manage as in the developer. So for example, if I'm writing a new feature, and if my customers are using, like old phone which has Android 5 or 6, then I need to write the different code, the specific code to support their older version of the mobile. So that is also a problem. And then some of the devices is actually change the UI according to their behavior. So even though you build beautiful apps, but on that particular device it looks such, right? So this is how these problems happens. And apart from this, when I started my career, there were like Android and iOS, only two major platforms were there. And I joined a company, and then my manager came, hey, the client is asking the Android application which looks like iOS. And I'm like, I can't do that, because iOS is a totally different OS, and it has totally different UI and user experience. How I can copy the same application which works on the iOS that will work on Android? That is again a difficult challenge. And to learn iOS development, you must have the Xcode or the Apple machine, and which is, everyone know that, which is like quite complex. So I just simply said, no, I can't do this. But then I found one solution, which is the cross-platform SDKs. So these cross-platform SDKs are provide you a kind of a thing where you just have to write a code once, and it will run on Android and iOS both. Magic, right? So what happens over there? Earlier, it was PhoneGap, Cordova, and then React Native came in the picture. So these all are the cross-platform framework, and these all frameworks were quite good when they came into the market. So PhoneGap initially, when they came into the market, it was really good. I started learning on the PhoneGap, but then as soon as the Android and iOS got matured, it started creating a problem. React Native right now is also a kind of a good option. But the main common thing in all this, the cross-platform framework, which I just mentioned, they are using the JavaScript. And those who are coming from the Java background, from the object-oriented background, they know the pain of the JavaScript, because JavaScript is a functional programming language. And it's a scripting language, it's not a compiled language. So it runs simply. The compiler will never give you an error. Right. So see, this is what happens with the JavaScript. If you write 2 + 2, it will give you 4. If you write 2 + 2 in double quote, it will give 22, which again makes sense. If you write 2 + 2 - 2, it will give 2. Cool. But if you write in double quote 2 + 2 and then -2, then it returns 20, and nobody knows why. So these are some challenges with the JavaScript, and that's why I didn't like that. So I was like, God, please help me out. Please give me some power. I want to build application for Android and iOS. Do we have any common solution? And then Baba pragat hote hain aur bolte hain apni sari samasya mujhe de do. And that's how the Flutter came into the picture. So in 2020, last year, everyone like this. Everyone are like following Flutter, because there are multiple reasons that we are going to cover next. So what exactly the Flutter is? So first of all, the Flutter, the framework is an open source, and it is built by the Google. And then later on, so many independent contributors started contributing to it. So Flutter is a Google's UI toolkit for building beautiful, natively compiled application for mobile, web, and desktop. And the main part is from a single code base. So if you write code just once, it will run on mobile also in both the platform, in Android and iOS, on the web and on the desktop. And on the desktop also, we have multiple OSs like Windows, Linux, and Mac. So Flutter now supports all the platform. So when this happens, so let me just show you. So there is one event happened on the 3rd of March just recently, which is the Flutter Engage. And in the Flutter Engage, they announced the full support of the web into the stable channel, and Windows, Mac, and Linux support into the beta. So that means if you know how to build an app using Flutter, your application can be available in all 6 platforms easily, without writing or without managing any extra stuff. Excited, right? It's quite awesome. So let's see what is been announced in the Flutter Engage, which just happened. So this sketch note is done by the Lara Martin, and her Twitter handle is Darky. You can see it in the right hand side. So this is just a compilation that what are the new things has been announced in the Flutter Engage. As we can see, the web version is now in stable. And now what this is. So earlier, when you are using the Flutter, you can only develop application for the Android and iOS with the same code. And if you want to use the web, then you need to do some extra efforts. But now the Flutter team has evolved Flutter, and now Flutter 2 version has been announced, where you can use the same code base to run the app in web. Also, apart from this web application is like quite helpful to create simple web apps like PWAs or kind of application-based websites like e-commerce and the stuff like that. Also, Microsoft himself is supporting the Flutter project, and they are writing the code in the Flutter SDK so that the Flutter can easily be adopted on the Windows platform. That means if you are learning Flutter or if you are developing apps on Flutter, there are high chances that it will get ported on the Windows platform more easily. The same thing happens with the Linux as well. So Canonical is the company who announced in this event that Linux is going to be used, the Flutter, as the default framework. Again, the great feature. There are some other announcements out there, but I don't think that that will make sense here. So I'm just skipping that. So right now, the Flutter becomes the one of the most favorable portable framework for any developer. So you can write it and it will run on anywhere. So let's just see what exactly the website look like of the flutter.dev. If you can see the website, so it says what I just shown you. I just copied from here only. So Flutter is famous for fast development, expressive and flexible UI and native performance. Now, how this fast development happens? How this exactly works? Let's just see what exactly happens here. So in Flutter, everything compiles to the native machine code. What this means? So Flutter is a framework where you write your code. Okay. Now Android has its own operating system, iOS has own operating system, and web has own rendering machine, or which is we can say a canvas. So now how the same code will run on each and everything? So what exactly happens here? Flutter sits on the canvas layer. Each and every OS has a one canvas layer where you can print anything. So Flutter actually converts your code into such manner where all the ARM machine code can understand. So those who are aware about the Java bytecode, so Java is also a language which is known as kind of a robust language, and which is also famous for write once and run everywhere, because it has the JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So whenever you install your Java Virtual Machine for any OS and you compile your code, which is your bytecode, your class file, and you put on the machine and it will simply run. So almost the similar kind of concept, but not exactly, but almost similar kind of concept has been adopted by the Flutter. So you just run your code, then Flutter Framework will take care whether you are on Android or iOS. It will just simply convert your code where the host machine can understand, and you don't need to worry about it. So in Flutter, whatever things you see, so they have make it as in the widgets. So those who might have played the Lego pieces, these are the ready-made pieces which you can put it anywhere and you can build your castle and everything. So Flutter is almost similar like that. They have the ready-made widgets, and you can also create your own widgets as well. If you don't like the ready-made, you can create your own. So all the ready-made widgets, you can put it together and you can build your app. So that means if you see a button on the screen or a menu on the screen, it's a widget. Even it's a font or it's a color, it's a widget. And even it's a margin on padding, it's a widget. On the different framework which is available on the market, so there is a challenge. If you want to design thing, if you want to add margin padding, you need to write CSS, or maybe you need to change some code into the XML files. If you need font or color, you need the hex value. And then, if you need button, you need to write or import the library of it. So here, simply, everything is a simple widget. So that's the simple. Even the whole application itself is a widget. See, so every program starts with the main function. Here, the main function has one method called run app. And in the run app, I'm passing the my application. And if you can see, the my application extends a stateless widget. That means my application becomes a widget, and the whole application is running as a widget. So that's how exactly the Flutter runs. Let's go back to the main question. So there is a one GDE and a very good speaker and a very good friend of mine. He told one event that never trust the speaker. Ask them to show the code how these things are working. So let's do the demo.
Sir, we are having some question in the chat box. They're asking, sir, do JavaScript, as you said that, we also seeing JavaScript frameworks like React is going out. So it's like JavaScript is lying between C++ or Python. Like, what does it stands at this moment in the industry level code or music?
So JavaScript has its own flavor, right? So JavaScript, as based on my knowledge, JavaScript has been written for the scripting purpose, right? It's a scripting language. So it is mainly for the browser where the interpreter is working. Where in the mobile, if you see, we all have the compilers here inside, right? So JavaScript has its own flavor. If you are a full stack developer, or if you want to build the website or a backend or any other thing which is support this, then JavaScript is the best thing. Python again is a compiled language, and that is the pure object-oriented language. Again, Python, where the JavaScript is a kind of a functional programming language. So both have their different pros and cons. So it's like comparing like apple with the orange. So I can't tell that what exactly good or bad. So both are best at their own places.
I think we have another question from Shivam. Both Arc and Debian, we will use it as default. So Shivam, can you please ask a question once more? I'm not clear with the question. Anyway, sir, please continue. We'll take more questions.
Yeah. So what was the question of the Shivam?
Sir, I can see the question he has asked.
So there are some Linux which are Arch based and some are Debian based. So will they both use the same code base? That's what
Yes.
in this use.
Yes. I mean, according to the canonical, this is not saying. This is not from me. This is from the official, the canonical company who is actually managing the Linux code base. So they made this Flutter as in their default kind of the first preference, as in the Flutter framework.
Sir, I also have one question. How does this cross-platform technology work? Like the same code that runs for Android, it's the same for iOS, the same for web, desktop, and that too, even for desktop, it's the same when we run it on iOS, Windows, or Mac. How does this work?
Okay. So let me just share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Sir, you have to not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I think it is
Let me
in
just share my
process.
screen and let me just answer your question as well. So I was about to going to share this slide, but let me just do it right away before the demo. So this is the Flutter framework. This is how the SDK's framework looks like. This is the whole Flutter framework. Okay. So let's just understand what happens. So whenever you write your Flutter code, this comes from this part, which is the framework, Dart part. So that means whatever code we are writing, we are using the Dart language. And this is the engine which is taking care of all the things. Okay. Let me just give you one example. Have you guys played like Candy Crush or maybe Temple Run game?
Yes.
Okay, on Android and on iOS both?
Yes.
Okay, so that application runs same way on Android and iOS. Similar, right? So how that particular thing happens? So that is the part of the game engine. So in game engine, what happens? The game engine actually take care of the screen. So what will happen here? The game engine will take a control of a particular OS and of the screen. So whatever happening on the screen is been taken care by your game engine. Okay? यहाँ तक समझ आया क्या हो रहा है?
Yes.
ठीक है. So Flutter के अंदर वो लोग ने क्या किया? वो लोग ने भी ऐसा ही किया. That they will take the control of the screen. जो पूरा screen है ना मोबाइल का या फिर वेब का या फिर विंडोज का, they will take the control of the screen and whatever things required to paint on the screen, at the OS side. जैसे OS है उसको कुछ लैंग्वेज समझ में आती है या फिर उसको कुछ और कोड समझ में आता है. So that thing will be taken care by your Flutter SDK. And here in that case, this is the engine C++. So this Kia engine is written in the C++, and that actually convert or that actually manage your code, which is written using the Dart language. It will convert this code where your host OS can understand. So whether it's an Android, iOS, or web, this Kia engine will take care. So right now, this Kia engine will take care only for Android and iOS. For web, they have changed it to the Canvas kit. and JS engine, JavaScript engine, and the DOM. Okay. So this the whole Flutter SDK is built in such a way कि आप ऊपर जो कोड लिख रहे हो ये फ्रेमवर्क का यूज करके आपके पास इतना एक्सेस है, you can write everything, and then whether your application which is written in Flutter is hosted on your web or hosted on your Windows or in mobile, that will be taken care by this part, this bottom part. I hope now I was able to give you a glance of how these things works behind the scenes.
Yes.
Exactly, sir. Definitely.
Right?
Even everybody is answering also.
Yeah. So do we have any other questions in between?
Yeah, folks. Do you have any question? Yeah, please do it fast, folks. All the audience, please. Yeah, guys. I can see many of you written like, okay, sure, yes. I think they got their doubt clear, sir. Or if they will be having, we'll be surely taking it forward.
Awesome.
Future.
Cool. So let me just give you kind of glimpse at how fast this development with Flutter is, and how you can utilize the Flutter to make yourself as a winner for the solution challenge. So what we are going to do is we will simply create a small application here in the Flutter. So here I have run one application, and this is kind of the blank code. Okay, this is whole blank code. I hope my screen is visible and the fonts are readable.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Exactly, sir.
It's visible.
Okay, awesome. So as in every programming language, we have the starting method of main. We have here the main method. To run the application, we have another method called run app. And the run app accepts, if you see, so the run app accepts widget. Okay. So here I will create one widget. So to create anything in object-oriented programming, we write class. So class my first app extends stateless widget. Now, what is this stateless and stateful? That I'll cover after a couple of minutes. Now, rather than writing this by myself, I have created one shortcut, and which is easily available in the framework, stateless, and I will write simply my first app. Here we can see this stateless class has a one method called build, and we are overriding this method, so that whatever we write inside this, it will get shown on the screen. Now this run app method accepts one object of the widget. So I will create my first app as an object.
Sir, what is the name of the extension for the phone screen in the VS Code? Sir? I got a query in the chat.
So this is the inbuilt. Once you install the Flutter and Dart in your VS Code, it will be automatically available. This templates. Okay. So now I have created one my widget, which is like blank widget, and I'm just passing to the run app. Let me just rebuild the application. And here we can see a blank app because we don't have anything. Now, if I want to change the color of this container, I will go inside the container. I will write color and colors.red, and I'll simply save it, and we can see the app is here. Now, what we'll do is we will create one like a WhatsApp kind of screen. So let's see WhatsApp screen, how it looks like. So a simple WhatsApp list screen. So the simple WhatsApp list screen will look like this. If I open it, open image in new tab, and here we can see we want to create something like this. Okay. In the application, let's see how fast we can do it. So here in the Flutter, they provide two kinds of library ready-made, which is one is a material and second is a Cupertino. So most of the thing where Google's kind of style, we will use the material. If we want to show some iOS styling, we will use the Cupertino. Here we will take the material. So here I will create a material app here. Material app. In the material app, we have some properties called home, and in home we will create one screen, and that home property again accepts one widget. So here I will create one more class again with the stateless, and I will create first screen. I'll simply pass the object of the first screen here. Now I'll simply put it as in hot restart. And here we can see there is a one debug console, and again it's a blank screen because now I have the material app. I can also put a shorthand like here. So I can just remove this whole line, and I'll simply copy and paste here, create an anonymous object and pass it here, and it will work same. Now we want to create something like a WhatsApp. So in the Flutter, they provide a ready-made widget, which is the scaffold. Scaffolding means like a ready-made structure. जब भी कोई बिल्डिंग बनाता है तो पता है उसके वो डंडे से बांध देता है, तो बिल्डिंग बनाते टाइम ऊपर जाता है तो so that particular basic structure known as a scaffold. So that's why the Flutter team has given the name scaffold, where you can get the ready-made structure. So अभी मेरे को ये ऐप के अंदर क्या करना है? I want, let me just again open the image in the big screen. So मेरे को ये ऊपर WhatsApp लिखा हुआ चाहिए. अभी हम लोग इसको skip करते हैं ये तीन को, and then I need a list. Okay. So that means in the mobile application, this particular part is known as the app bar. So here in the scaffold, they provide the app bar, and again a ready-made widget called app bar. If I simply save it, you can see the whole screen is available, and we have put app bar. Here we have app bar. Now in the app bar, we need a title. So I will go into the app bar. I'll click on title. Title accept the widget, and we have ready-made widget called text. Here I'll simply type WhatsApp. Simply save it. WhatsApp is available. As simple as that. Now, as I'm running this application on the iPhone simulator, we can see the title is on the center because iOS style. अगर जो लोग iPhone use कर रहे हैं, they can see that whatever the title comes on the screen, they will always come on the center. If I want to specifically say that, hey, don't put title on the center, I'll simply say center title equal to false, and we'll move to the left. Here also we can see we have some actions here, right? Search action, chat, and then more actions. So again, in the app bar, I'll say, hey, I need some actions. So action accepts the array of widgets. So here I'll simply type icon button because we have icon button. Icon button accepts the icon and on press event. So here again we have ready-made widget icon and ready-made icons. Search, and here in on press I will pass nothing. As I'm not passing anything, it says disable. So I'll pass a blank callback, which is a blank method. Now I'll simply copy this thing and put it like 3 times. I'll change the code as the chat maybe. Yes, and then vertical more. Vertical more vertical. Yes, more vertical. So now we have this thing available. So this is my app bar. So if I see, so how much line of code happens? Only 32, and we have this app bar available. Now I want to create the body like this. So what I'll do, I'll simply go into the scaffold. In the scaffold we have app bar, and now scaffold also have the body part. In the body, I want to do something like this, kind of a list view. So what I'll do, I'll simply put list view dot builder, where it will give me one parameter which has 2 constraints. One is the context and second is the index. Now what this do is I have to return one text, and I will pass index as $index. Here we have a list view, right? Is everyone able to see the list?
Yes, sir, exactly.
Yes, sir.
You can see it.
Yeah, but this looks weird because it is like infinite list view. So I just want to restrict it. So I just want to tell, hey, list view, there is an item count which is like 50. So I will just simply say MC from 0 to 50, we have only 50. Now I want to change this style because this doesn't look good. I want to make a list item like this. So Flutter provides that as well. So it has a list style widget. List style widget accepts title. Okay, let's just put a title. It accepts text, and here I will type title of the chat, and then we have subtitle text, and here I will type this last recent chat item. See, it automatically takes the relative styling We don't have to put that, hey, this is the title, so please make it bigger, and this is the subtitle, make it lighter and everything. Also, we need kind of image here. Okay, so this Flutter is that simple because now we want that particular icon here on the first place. That means that that image is actually leading to this, the whole list style. So list style has a property called leading. And here we have the circle avatar, a ready-made widget. And as soon as I put it, we got the circle avatar. And in the circle avatar, I can put anything. Like I can put the text as well. For example, if I want to put text, I'll simply put text. If I want to put an image, I can put image dot. If I want to take an image from the network, I simply write network image and I will pass the URL. Let's take an example. If I just simply copy this URL and paste it here and save it, we have this URL here. See, you guys can see the image inside here, which is like very
Yes, sir.
cool.
Yes, sir.
You can see that, right? So let me just go back to the normal circle avatar. Okay, and now on the right hand side, what we need is a time. Okay, so here right hand side, that means this is the leading. So on the right hand side, what it will say is a trailing. So in the trailing, we simply need text with the time. So time, I will just simply write today. Here we can see it today. But now if we want something below this, we can wrap this particular thing in the column. So for example, if I want to put a widget like line by line in a vertical manner, we have the widget called column. So I'll wrap this inside the column. So in the column, we have like this today. And again, I will take a circle avatar, style and text, where every time I have like 4 messages inside. So we have 4. But now it says error because this is overflowing. यहाँ पे जगह नहीं है और ये बड़ा हो रहा है. So we need to say, hey circle avatar, reduce your size. So it has the radius, and we'll say, hey, your radius should be like 10, and it will get reduced. Simple, right? But it still doesn't look like a WhatsApp because WhatsApp का color क्या है? Green है ना?
Yes, sir.
So how I can change the color of this? Because we have used Material app, so ये provide करता है theme. So here we can base theme data dot theme data dot primary squash, and here I will write colors dot green. Oh yeah, na? If I want to make it darker, I can simply pass. Oh, sorry, it doesn't work like this. Okay, green only 400 is available. Okay. Oh, no problem. So this is how simple it is, to build a kind of UI with the Flutter. See how much line of code? Only 50 line of code, and we are able to, mimic the UI of the WhatsApp. So that's the power of Flutter, and that's how you should be, take care of the Flutter. And that's why I always prefer to, go with the Flutter if you are taking part in any hackathon or somewhere, because it will help to validate your idea. For example, अगर आप कोई problem लेके आ रहे हो और उसका solution आपके दिमाग में है, but it shouldn't be like कि वो जो solution आप build करना चाहते हो वो सबसे ज़्यादा time ले. It should be like whatever the solution you are building, it should be get quick outside on the screen, and you can show to your judges, and that will make your idea more feasible. अगर जब तक ये नहीं होता, so you can't think about the idea, because we are not just a developer, we are engineers, we solve the problems, right? So our focus should be on solving the problem, not just like messing around with the technology, that hey, ये button yellow क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, why this button is not getting small or big, right? So that's why where Flutter comes as in the handy tool. And Flutter is right now so much famous that so many companies are using it. So let me just show you how many companies are using it.
I can already say, sir, many of the students are already saying they're going to shift their development career to Flutter. after watching this half an hour sessions, they're really inspired. I know one of the audience personally. He's an Android developer. He just written that permanently I'll be moving forward to Flutter. That's an amazing,
So
amazing to know.
yeah, thank you so much. So I just want to give you a glimpse of it, that how many apps are available. So these are from the official website, Flutter.dev showcase. And these are some applications which are built in Flutter, like the Stadia official application built on Flutter, Google Ads, Reflectly, Insight Timer, Grab. Even your Dream 11 application is also built on Flutter. Groupon application, Hamilton, and also Google Pay. The latest version which you guys are using it is also written in Flutter. Apart from this, I have another website, which is It's All Widgets. Now, this website is for you. If you are taking part of in any hackathon or any solution challenge, there are tons of open source projects. You can utilize it. You can just simply fork it and utilize it in your way. I'm not encouraging the copy pasting. I'm encouraging to take the inspiration and learn from that open source project for your need and purpose. And if you think that project is doing good, you can directly contribute to that project as well. So this website, It's All Widget website, is actually listing all the applications that build on Flutter right now. And you can simply toggle these. You just want open source project, you will just simply on, and all the applications which are open source, you can see that here. You can just simply click on any website. For example, I love this web app. I'll simply go here, and here we can see there is a GitHub link and the source code is available. If you like this application, go and check the code, how the code is written, how they are utilize this app, and learn from that. So that's how the whole ecosystem works in the Flutter. The community is quite strong. You can learn so much thing from here. Also, if you need anything which is not available, there are a couple of plugins and couple of libraries available. And to search the library, you just simply need to go to pub.dev, the pub.dev website. And for example, you need for launching an URL. So you simply type URL launcher. But yeah, you can see that this is the most favorite plugin, URL launcher, which is available. If you want to show SVG images, so if you just simply type SVG, and it will show all the package or libraries available, which will show the SVG images, a photo view which supports SVG and everything. So you can just think of it, and I guess you will be able to find the solution or the ready-made code at least for this. Now the main part comes where you as a developer can work. You can actually utilize this ready-made code by tweaking it, learning it, and implementing it in your project and solve your problem. Also, as Flutter announced the support for the new platforms, web, desktop, and everything, so there is another website available called pub.green, and you can see that whether that plugin, for example, I'm using this plugin Photo View, whether this Photo View plugin is available for web, Windows, or desktop, or Android, iOS or not. Even though it is written here, you can also search here as well. So, for example, if I can type icon, and I can search the package for the icon. So there are like 21 packages regarding the icon, and we can see that, hey, it supports all this platform, this plugin. So this is, like easy and safe to use in your project if you are supporting all this platform. So this is also another website called pub.green. And to learn Flutter, there is an official website called flutter.dev, and there are a lot of things available which you can learn from them. You can utilize it. This is the link, the event.flutter, which is like the Flutter Engage team has built this website, and here they have the Learn tab, where whether you are a beginner, intermediate, or expert, you can simply select it, and it will show all the guidelines, that what you learn, from where you can learn, what are the links, code labs, everything is available here in this links. So again, if you want to kickstart your journey with the Flutter, the resources are easily available. And here,
so we have one question from the chat box.
Yes.
Which says,
just a moment. Let me just going through this all the resources, and then we'll take the questions.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. So, and this is the one of the person who tweeted about this top 20 Flutter YouTubers, and that person himself put him on the 17th number. So these are couple of YouTube channels or YouTube content creator for the Flutter which you can follow. There are like many, but these are some top 20 YouTubers. So yeah, this you can follow as well. And I hope now you got the sense that how easy one can jump on a Flutter and how beautiful it is to build with Flutter. And that's it, folks. So I hope now after flying with me with the Flutter, you can say that hey, Chan pe hai apun. Okay. So thank you so much everyone for listening to me blissfully, and now I'm open for all the questions.
Exactly, sir. That was an amazing part. Many I can see I'm getting good responses. They're ready to fly with Flutter, and hopefully they'll fly to another planet as well. The impressive, the comments I'm seeing, personal DMs and chat box. Yeah, Sharu, you can continue. One question I can see, please. You start with. I'll be taking some of the few questions. Yeah.
Yeah. One person, Sukhdeep Singh, is asking: cross platforms have limited functionalities than native ones. How to overcome such?
So right now, the Flutter doesn't have that kind of limitation. Whatever the things is supported by the native, everything is supported by the Flutter. If the ready-made plugins are not available, the Flutter provides one thing called platform channels. That means if the feature is available in your native for Android or iOS, you can simply write the code in Android and iOS. And then you can utilize that code in the platform channel. So that term is known as the platform channel.
Sir, one question from Bhupesh is that, sir, can we have some code or example using some state of management tool while making application?
So, what was the name of the person?
Bhupesh.
Hey, Bhupesh, the one link which I just mentioned here, let me just put it under the chat as well, so that you can go through it, because there are a lot of resources available where you can find all your answers of your question, that whether it's a state management or state of arts or animations or everything. So there are plenty of developers are writing the Medium blogs, creating the YouTube content, and everything has been curated on this particular link which I just posted in the chat. I hope I answered your question.
Definitely, sir. I have one interesting question from my end, sir. As we know that Flutter came into the picture back in 2015, if I'm not wrong, and henceforth it was growing exponentially. And midwise in 2017, we got Kotlin for Android development. And as we know that most of the user base, like 89 of the market base is on Android application development. So, sir, like what do you see? Like we can see in 2018, 2020, 39% of the hike came from Flutter. So, sir, according to you, is it just a hype or it's exactly what industry is looking forward to have? Because still now, Kotlin is also experimenting with this code base, right? And Flutter is new to it. So what is your view, sir?
So it's like, having the multiple option in hand. It's not like that if you have one, then that should be the best one. It's like everyone are, growing themselves and making themselves more usable as the developer friendly or as the user friendly. For example, if you are hungry but you are from the Punjab, so you love Punjabi food. But now, if someone from Gujarat like me comes to you and will share, the Guju food, right, Gujarati food, and you start liking it, so will you say the Punjabi food is not good? No, right? But Punjabi food is good as well as the Gujarati food. It's like based on your choice what you want to eat. So this goes for the the Kotlin and the Flutter for the both. So what exactly your use case is? Whether your use case is getting fit with the Kotlin or getting fit with the Flutter. Whatever works for you best, just go there and use it. It's as simple as that.
So according to you, sir, the problem statement and on which we need to work, ideation and the problem exactly we need to understand, right?
Correct.
Like
problem,
to understand the problem.
Your approach. For example, if you are building one application, and that application is highly reliable on your device sensors. For example, you are building an application for partially impaired people or specially able people where they need accelerometer and gyroscope and the camera sensors and everything, which is highly dependent on your device. Okay, so in that case, I will not suggest you to go with the Flutter. I will suggest you to go with the native development. And if you are good with the native development, so then I will suggest you go with the Flutter, because those things which you require is not available on the Flutter. You can simply go and write in the natively, and you can access it using the platform channels.
Exactly. Sharu, I think we have a question from Shivam regarding the size of getting affected in. Can you please take that question, Sharu?
Shivam asked, how much is the app size gets affected when coding in Flutter?
Okay, so if we compare this with the native, it's a quite high. The latest build which you make in the release mode is actually around 3 to 4 MB for a simple Hello World application. Now, the reason why that particular size is so big, because the Flutter SDK sits inside that, your build. So whenever you're creating a build, the Flutter SDK is already there inside your APK. So whatever the code you are writing is runtime, it is actually converting it and putting it over there. So there is a kind of trade-off where you need to compromise with the app size when you are building with the Flutter. But yeah, nowadays everyone has 64 or 128 gigs of memory, right? So you don't need to worry about the app size, honestly.
Exactly, sir. So one of the more question that I wanted to ask is that for a beginner, as we all know that for a first year student and a second year student, they're going to participate in the Global Solution Challenge. They might be wondering if they want to kickstart with Android, with Kotlin and Flutter with Dart. So what will be your suggestion? Like, for Android, we need to understand XML for the, UI and backend for the Kotlin. And as you have shown, many people got inspired to learn Flutter. It's very easy to use, sir. So what suggestion would be from your end, because you were Android developer the first time and later you shifted your process of developing Flutter. Like for a newbie, they should be moving towards Flutter, or like they should be exploring both the technologies?
Okay, so first of all, learn at least one language properly. So for example, if you are in a first or second year, learn the C++ or Java in a proper manner. Learn the whole concept, like inheritance, learn it properly. Learn all the other encapsulation and whatever things has been taught in college, you should understand and learn that first. Because I found, nowadays all the students are, running here and there, watching YouTube video, and then, they just dream of, hey, I just want to become like a good Flutter developer and like this. No, I also, learned so many basic things, and then only I jumped on, to the higher end programming. Because unless if I don't know the basics of programming, I won't be able to build that application. Because at the end, you are going to write your for loop, each loop, and like if else condition only in any language. So, my answer to your question is first learn whatever been taught in the college. If you are first and second year student, then I will not force you to learn this new high level programming languages. First learn whatever has been taught in the college properly, thoroughly, and then from the third year, when you get a chance to work on the project, at that particular time, choose any framework on which you want to jump. Like after this session, you probably will going to jump on a Flutter. So choose Flutter and start learning and building apps on Flutter.
Exactly. Thanks a lot, sir.
Sir, I have one question that while developing, when you use a Windows machine for developing in Flutter, we only get Android debugging, not iOS debugging. Is there any way from which we could at least get an like Xcode or something so that we can try it for iOS as well?
Because that kind of the regulation or kind of restriction is from Apple itself. So Apple's Xcode does not run on Windows machine. If you want to run, then you need to install your VMware. In the VMware you need to install like Hackintosh, which is like crack version of your Mac OS, and on that Hackintosh.
Yeah, I've tried it, but it did not work. Xcode did not come up.
Okay, so I guess now in the latest Xcode they have put that restriction as well, so that it might not run. So at the end of the day, you have to buy one Apple system, but I know it is quite costly. So what you can do is you can actually build an application for Android, and those who have the iOS application, you can simply go to his system and simply build it. Because most of the time, whatever things run on the Android, it will run on iOS only. So that's the benefit of the Flutter. So you don't need to worry about it. Also, there is one question which was going through in the chat by the Pranav, that whether this app size actually does matter with the speed of this application performance or not. Pranav, I will say no, it won't, because the app size is a totally different thing and the performance is a different thing. So here app size is being consumed by the assets and the Flutter SDK itself. So, and the performance is the thing which is being currently right now in the memory. So those both are the different things. So don't worry about it. Even though your app is so big in size, but if you have coded in very well manner, it will run smooth. just like the Facebook app. It's like, around like 150 MB or like 250 MB or 300, but it still runs smooth because they have written in proper manner.
Exactly, sir. Shahrukh, can you please take a question like from Akash Kumar? Like he's having some doubt with the front.
Okay, so Akash, okay. So I guess if I'm reading it correctly, the front end is easy with Ionic and Bootstrap along with the Cordova, Angular, JS, etc. Why we should Flutter? I'm confused right now, so please solve my confusion. Okay, so Akash, if you have tried Cordova, Ionic, or Bootstrap with front end for mobile application, then I guess you will not be able to like create your application the faster way, the way I have just shown you in the demo, right? So I will again encourage you to at least try creating the same UI with the Ionic or Cordova or Bootstrap for mobile. I'm specifically telling you for mobile, not for the web. So if you are targeting the mobile, then try this with the framework which you requested or you suggested, and then try with the Flutter, and then choose whatever feels good to you. And I'm damn sure that you are going to get in love with Flutter.
Also, folks, if you have any query, we will be wrapping up the session for the next 5 to 10 minutes. If you have any question, please shoot it out in the chat section. Sir is here to clear your doubt. Anubhav.
We have one question from Varkis who asks, coding in Flutter or Android Studio, which is
I
better?
guess Flutter is a framework and Android Studio is IDE. I guess.
Oh, maybe he's asking for VS Code
So,
or Android Studio.
I personally choose VS Code because it is the lightweight, and we all have not that high power full system. So I use VS Code as in the development for the Flutter. Sometimes I use Android Studio whenever I want, because I've been to as in the Android developer. So earlier I used to develop application on Android Studio, but then my system started lagging, so I switched to VS Code, and now I'm working VS Code to develop that.
So related to this, I just want to ask, can we use Flutter without installing Android Studio? Like just with the SDK and other things?
If you know how to install the SDK and the Gradle build, then you can do it. If you don't, then just simply install the Android Studio, and then all the building process will be taken care by the Android Studio behind the scenes. So what you can do is you can install the Android Studio, but still you can run your application using the VS Code. So that's how we mostly do.
Yes.
That's a piece of advice people should be remembering. As a what state management is better while working with Flutter? Any recommendations?
Okay. So there are a couple of state management tools right now, or libraries right now available in the market. First of all, let me just clear one doubt that Provider is not a state management library. It is the dependency injection library. So first understand what exactly dependency injection is, and then try to use it. Block is one of the more and highly acceptable approach in the Flutter community for state management. I have also used the block. Right now, I'm exploring the Mobex, and I'm loving the Mobex framework as well. So for me, I personally choose the Mobex because it has the code generation part. So I don't need to write the repetitive code, which is known as the... Do you know what that repetitive code means in technical language? Boilerplate code.
Snippet.
Yeah. Okay. So the Mobex provide the code generation where we don't have to write the boilerplate code. So that's why I personally like Mobex. But yeah, Blog is also good. And there are now new couple of libraries available called Riverpod and the Getit and Getex. Those are also quite good. But if you ask me to develop application, I will choose Mobex because for me, it's a bit easy and more readable.
So, Shahrukh, can we take Rajiv's question? I think Sir has just now cleared all the doubts.
Yeah. We just have one question. What else can we do with Dart language?
What exactly you want to do? Because you can build your back end, you can build your front end. I don't know what exactly your intention is. If you can, put your question by reframing what exactly you want to do, then I can say yes or no.
That's an awesome answer. That's an awesome answer. Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. So one question from my end is that, like, as we know that many of the backend from Google has been covered with Go nowadays. It's a future. So, sir, what do you see Dirt is going for the future? What do it will create an ecosystem, or it will capture the market as Android created, like Java and Kotlin created? So, like, where do you see like Dirt, sir, for the future aspirant like Flutter developers, for the future Flutter developers? Like, what will be the motivational point for them as they are moving towards Flutter today, learning Dart as a main course language?
So, I mean, Dart is not that hard language that it will take so much time to learn. If you know at least one language like Java, C++, or any language, it will maximum take like a week. And because the way you write your JavaScript, the way you write your code in Kotlin, it is the similar way you can write the code in Dart as well. So it's not like you are learning new language totally. It's just an extension for you. So you are actually growing your skill by knowing multiple languages. So I guess that Rahul has cleared his intention. He asked that, okay, like into the AI. So Rahul, AI exactly the different thing. So to AI, you need a model where you have the ready-made model and you are utilizing that model. So to train the model, there are different languages. I don't know whether Dart is being used to train a model or not. But I mean, based on my knowledge, I can say for the AI, not for AI, to actually develop a model, AI model, the Dart is not being used, or maybe used, but I am not aware of it.
Okay, that's our fronting is the user part. We are getting a lot of questions now. As we are running out of time, we won't be taking a lot of questions. But one question from my end, sir, as this session is totally based for the helping students in order to achieve in the hackathon. What piece of advice you will suggest the newbies, those who are coming, taking part into the hackathon, using the Flutter technology? What other learning that you want to share with the new exciting people, those who want to participate in hackathons?
Okay, so I've been to so many hackathons as a judge. So as a judge, what I expect from the participant is like, whenever you start implementing your idea, don't worry about your login, sign up, and forgot password thing. Because I found so many developers are wasting their half of the time in implementing just signing and sign up thing. So don't worry about it. First, implement your main logic. For example, you are developing one student record management system. So भूल जाओ कि आपको पहले स्टूडेंट का लॉगिन करना है. Just assume कि okay, this ID is your logged in student ID और पूरा सिस्टम बना लो. Login, logout is not your main part of the system. Your main part is how you are managing your students' data. So पहले वो build करो, और वो build ऐसे करो कि at least वो workable हो. वो beautiful नहीं होगा तो चलेगा. So your approach should be first divide your whole task into small tasks. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम लोग एक ई कॉमर्स का ऐप बनाना चाहते हैं, तो ई कॉमर्स ऐप के लिए सबसे पहले क्या चाहिए? मेरे पास चाहिए ऑल द आइटम्स, कैटेगरीज, आइटम्स, उसका डिस्क्रिप्शन एंड देन कार्ड. ओके, सो व्हाट आई विल डू, फर्स्ट आई विल डिवाइड the whole process into small chunks. Like I want to show the all categories, I want to show all list of products, and I want to show the detail of the product. So this become my small part. Now I will create the cart module. तो cart में क्या होगा? Whenever I click on add to cart, item will get added onto cart. So that's the first part. Add item to the cart. The another part is remove item from the cart. Third item is calculate the cart value. Fourth item is do the payment. So whatever the whole problem is, just divide in smaller chunks. Start implementing all the smaller chunks. Give them dedicated time. अगर वो इतने टाइम में नहीं हो रहा है, so देखो क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, कहाँ पे आपने टास्क को बहुत बड़ा लिख दिया, वो टास्क को थोड़ा कम करो, and then again divide, और उसको टास्क पे काम करो. So as soon as your task will get ended, you feel कि हाँ चलो इतना कम खत्म हो गया, इतना कम खत्म हो गया. And always remember, sign in, sign up, login, उसको लास्ट में टच करो. If you are in the hackathon, please implement that thing in the last part. Don't make it as a first part. वरना क्या होगा, 24 घंटे के hackathon में आप 12-13 घंटे sign in, sign up ही बनाते रह जाओगे, and your app will never get complete, and then you will lose. So don't do that. Okay. Also, the another point is, try to utilize the open source code as much as you can. Right? There are plenty of things available. There are ready-made plugins. There are ready-made libraries available. Just utilize those libraries. But if you are copying any code, then always mention that you are actually taking the reference of that code and put it in your slides or in your code. But hey, this has been taken from there. Also, whatever code you are copying, first understand why you are, what the code is being written for. If you don't understand the code which you are copying, then there are high chances that your app will gonna crash at the demo time. So don't blindly copy it. Copy it, understand it, and make it use for you. So this is some piece of advice that I would like to share for all the people who are taking part in this solution challenge.
Exactly, sir. And as we are running out of time, one last important question on behalf of all the newbies, sir. As you know, you are coding and contributing to the community from a decade. So it has been a great experience. I think no one else can explain other than you, sir. What should be our approach for a newbie to overcome like disappointment when we move? What should be the piece of motivation we should be looking forward, like in a hackathon or a phase of development career? If we are moving towards it, we get some problems, some bugs, we usually leave it. So what should be the approach that you conquered throughout your journey and that made a fruitful way to understand and get success out of this? Please.
It's a really good question, that how exactly one should overcome that problem or their failures and everything. So see, as a developer, one thing you should always take care of, or one thing that you always keep in mind, that a developer is a person who never fails, right? Because error आता है ना, तो हम लोग उसको solve करते हैं, हम लोग उसको बीच में छोड़ते नहीं हैं. So like whether it's a computer error or whether it's a your personal life problem or anything, just keep trying. Just keep trying with the new approaches every time. Because अगर आपको पता है कि इससे एरर आ रहा है, ठीक है, so now you will know that okay, अगर ये करेंगे तो इससे दूसरा एरर आएगा, so इससे तीसरा एरर आएगा, and now at some point you will get that okay, इससे एरर नहीं आ रहा है, right? So do the same thing. Also regarding, let's just divide this question into some parts. First, let's just take for the your academic career or maybe in your hackathon. What if you won't win an hackathon, or you won't get good marks in your college? What will happen? Nothing will happen. The thing is, in programming, you are always learning. Like me, even after having this much of experience, I'm still learning. See, the new Flutter 2.0 just announced and I don't know anything about it. So I also need to learn. So it's not like that, if I run my code and it never breaks, it does break. It does break. So I just simply, go and check why it is breaking it, and then I just simply solve it. So just go to the root cause, why this particular, the failure happened. For example, if you are not getting good marks, just identify the failure. क्या reason था? फैकल्टी ने अच्छा नहीं पढ़ाया, आपने कुछ अच्छा नहीं पढ़ा, या फिर आप सिर्फ वो गैंग्स ऑफ वासेपुर देखते रह गए, या फिर मनी हाइस्ट के चक्कर में सब लूट गए, है ना? So try to identify the problem, and then उसको overcome करो, and then you will get success easily. So it's like, rather than crying on your failure, just identify where exactly the root cause happened to make you fail, and then just remove that. It's as simple as that. So there are many times that I got disappointed. In my academic career, I also participated in many hackathons. I also failed. I never won. But once I joined a company as in the professional developer, and then one hackathon happened between the companies. Those hackathons we won as the first prize. So then why we won? Because I learned from my past experience. I know that I don't need to implement this login and sign up, because it was ended by eating up my all the time. So then on that hackathon, we focused on the things which we need to showcase or which we need to validate the idea. So अगर हैकेथॉन में पार्ट ले रहे हो तो इतना ध्यान रखो कि अगर आपको स्टार्टअप करना है तो स्टार्टअप का आइडिया ना हैकेथॉन में लेके जाओ, वहाँ पे बिल्ड करो, तो वहाँ पे आपका आइडिया वैलिडेट होगा कि ये वाला चीज आगे जाके चलेगा या नहीं चलेगा. अगर नहीं चलेगा तो वहाँ पे ड्रॉप कर दो. So हैकेथॉन इज द बेस्ट प्लेस टू वैलिडेट योर आइडिया. ठीक है. So these are some things which you can take care and you can just be happy. And also some of the people are putting in the chat, I guess. So Pranav is also written that in sleep we even think of solving that error. Yeah, this happens because back of the mind, your subconscious mind, because you're totally focused on the problem, your subconscious mind is still active and working on that problem. So sometimes रात को 2:30 बजे भी आपको आएगा कि hey, your line number is 403 actually creating a problem, and in the morning you able to solve that problem. So this happens. So just sleep over it, the problem, and it will be done. Yeah. Good suggestion.
Thanks a lot, sir. Like, we will be wrapping up soon. On a last ending note, we all know that how tedious it is to balance our professional job, the college, and as well as education. Today's Dhrumil sir has managed. He those who don't know, he's having a 10 more plus years of professional experience. He is a Google developer expert. Has been invited for Google I of several consecutive years. Such an experienced person has came in between us. We are overwhelming, sir, for getting a golden words from you, exactly to the point. And from a senior application developer, we are really happy that exactly what you have said to a productive part, how to implement the thing. As you said, the developer will never be demotivated, as we are here to fix the bug. We're really glad and we're really honored to have you, sir. I really thank my board team, Mr. Bhavesh Mali, Suraj, Sharanya, Isha, and Manish for working so wonderfully, and the content developer team, and as well as entire core team and Lovely Professional University for having with us and experiencing and witnessing such an amazing session from Dhrumil Shah, sir. He's one of the most dedicated person I've ever seen. We are having a conversation in the afternoon. He didn't even bother the time. He actually saying all these things and explained it thoroughly. So it was a great to have that such a person with such a humble attitude talking to us, and it was such a gratitude. It's really a pleasure to have you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir, for being with us. Hope to see you soon, sir. On behalf of Developer Student Club, thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you so much. Before we just sign off, I just want to share my social media handle where
definitely,
where you can reach out to me. So this is my LinkedIn profile, or you can just simply search like Duma1981, which is like my like a single identity where you can reach out to me. I'm available on LinkedIn, Twitter, also Instagram, but Instagram is like more personal, so I won't be like answering the question on the Instagram. Mostly put on like LinkedIn or Twitter. And there is another account which I am owning it, which is the Flutter Flex, where I put all the updates regarding the Flutter community. That means if anyone has written any blog or creating any video or anything, something is happening in the Flutter world, I'm just I'm just posting it to this Flutter Flex channel. So you can just follow this account for all the latest updates for this. So let me just put this into the chats so that you can directly follow this. So this is the Flutter Flex account. This is my account, which you can follow, and this is my LinkedIn profile where you can connect me. So let me know how you feel about this Flutter and everything, and yeah, feel free to reach out to me for any question. There are high chances that I might not answer you at the same particular time, but yeah, I will definitely answer your queries. But there's one small request. Please don't start a conversation just with simple hi. Put your whole concern that, hey sir, I'm facing this challenge. I tried this and I'm stuck here. Put your whole question at the one bench, because there are like so many requests I'm getting. So I'm not able to answer you, hi, how are you, what are you doing? I won't be able to, do a chat with you live. But if you are stuck at somewhere, I'll definitely try my best to get you out from that problem. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, DSCLP, Lovely Professional University, LPU. It was a great, catching up with you guys, with the boss and Sharanya. You are being a nice host, and all the participants. Thank you so much for your questions and everything. I really enjoyed this session because even though this is the online session, it is so much interactive. There are a lot of questions from you guys. I really enjoyed, delivering a talk here. So thank you so much, everyone. Hope to see you.
Pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye. Take care.